Most security AI is a stranger to the environment it's meant to protect. Juno changed that by bringing investigation, reasoning, and context into one system. Now we're taking it further. Juno can now connect across your environment, reason through your specific context, run deeper investigations, take action on what it finds, and carry that understanding forward over time. Let's see it in action. Let's get started by asking Juno. Hey Juno, based on my GitHub activity, is there anything I should be aware of? Until now, all Juno investigations drew from a single source of truth, the upticks data lake. That's powerful, but it means Juno was blind to any security-relevant data living outside upticks, identity events in Google Admin, access activity in Microsoft Admin, workload logs in CloudWatch, code changes in GitHub. In practice, that's a significant portion of the data a real analyst would consult. Juno can now use connectors to query external data sources directly within an investigation without ingesting or copying that data into upticks. And here's what that looks like. Juno went straight into the GitHub org, ran an 8-step investigation, and came back with 3 active security concerns, unmerged PRs sitting open for 41 days, a health check that's been failing every single run since May 1st, and no code scanning across the entire org. All pulled directly from GitHub. Now let's look at how to connect your own sources. To get started, simply click on the top right corner. Configurations. Juno AI configurations. Here you can see a list of connectors we've already configured. On the status column, you can see 3 statuses. 1. Enabled optional. 2. Disabled. And 3. Enabled and used for all investigations. To change that, you can simply head over to the Actions column on the rightmost side and select a different status. Now, to add a new one, click on New Connector. We'll do GitHub. Enter your username and password and click on Sign In. I'm going to give access to all repositories and click on Install and Authorize. Now, give it a suitable name. I'm just going to call it GitHub Connector for now. I'm going to leave the description empty and leave the status as Enabled Optional. Hit Save. And there you have it. Our connector is set up and ready to use. Let's put Juno at work again. Hey Juno, who are our primary customers and what risks do they currently face? Now watch what Juno surfaces here. Notice the last bullet, APAC regulated enterprises, specifically calling out Japan and EU market obligations. We just asked who our customers are. We never mentioned Japan. And on the threat landscape, Juno is flagging 300 high-severity alerts, active reverse shells, a crypto miner, and confirmed lateral movement on Kubernetes. These aren't generic risks. Juno is surfacing what matters given the context it knows about us. So the question is, how does Juno know we care about Japan? How does it know our business context at all? To find that, let's head on to the Calibrations menu by clicking on the top right corner. Then on Configurations. Then Juno AI Configurations, and on the Calibrations tab, you can see a calibration with the title Upticks set up. Let's open it. The first is the input configuration, your company name, homepage, and this additional context field. This is where you describe your business, who you are, what you do, what matters to you. Here we've stated that we're a cybersecurity SaaS company and that compliance in Japan is a priority because of a large customer there. That's why Japan showed up. The second part is what Juno detects on its own. Down here under AI detected configuration, Juno has gone and validated your environment against actual telemetry. It found AWS, GCP, Azure, and IBM, Linux, Mac OS, Windows, Kubernetes, both agentless and agent-based detection active. So Juno combines what's stated here with what it observes in your environment, and from that point on, every investigation is shaped by this context. You never have to mention Japan again. To set up your own calibration, simply reach out to Juno customer support and they'll get it configured for you. Now, let's look at one of the most powerful things Juno can do: deep research. So far, Every investigation we've run has been a single thread, one question and one investigation. That works great for targeted queries. But what if you want a complete, comprehensive picture of something complex? That's where deep research comes in. Before we ask Juno, let's just enable deep research first. Click on Investigation Settings, Persona, and Deep Research. Now let's ask Juno. Hey Juno, can you do a complete security assessment of our AWS environment? Here, Juno is asking clarifying questions before diving in. Scope, priority areas, time window, known concerns. It wants to make sure it's investigating what matters most to you before spinning up multiple parallel threads. Let's give it the green light. I want you to cover all of the priority areas you have mentioned. Please proceed. Look at this. Juno lays out a full investigation plan. 6 parallel threads all running simultaneously. IAM, network, data protection, compute, logging, compliance. Then Phase 7 validates and cross-checks across all 6. And Phase 8 synthesizes everything into a final report. Now let's expand Phase 1 and see the full sub-investigation. Phase 1 alone, just IAM, has already found 12 users with console access and no MFA, a root account with no MFA protection, and 5 users with excessive permissions. Specific account IDs, specific usernames, specific risk ratings. Now let's close this tab and move to Phase 3. Phase 3, data protection. And look at the scale of this. 110 S3 buckets without public access controls, 44 unencrypted EBS volumes totaling 775 GB, 14 Elasticache clusters without encryption, 420 unencrypted snapshots. And Juno doesn't just list findings, it visualizes them. Data protection gaps broken down by service, by account, by region. You can see instantly where your biggest exposure is. And while we were looking at individual threads, Juno was quietly finishing the rest. All 6 investigations, done. Here's the final synthesized report. 7 critical findings, 12 high-severity findings across all 3 AWS accounts. IMDS Vitoa not enforced, root account unprotected, 145 security groups exposing database ports to the internet, 110 S3 buckets without public access controls, PCI DSS compliance at 61%. This is what used to take a senior analyst half a day. Juno did it in minutes, across your entire environment, with a full evidence chain behind every single finding. Let me paste this into Juno real quick. Hey Juno, can you please list our top 10 recent alerts? Connectors gave Juno access, calibrations gave it context, deep research gave it depth, now remediation gives it agency. With alert exceptions, Juno stops just surfacing findings and starts acting on them. Let's take a look at what Juno has pulled up, our 10 most recent alerts. Let's click on the full screen button to see our alerts in more detail. Expand the alert rule name column. Here, you can see an alert with the title, Credential Being Brute Forced. Let's get back to Juno with a follow-up request to see if it can create an exception for this alert. Juno, can you create an exception for alert credential being brute forced? And hit enter. After analyzing our request, Juno brings this up, a proposed action to create an alert exception, seeking approval before doing anything. Juno proposes, you decide. Let's twirl open this accordion and see what's inside. In the name key inside our parameter JSON, it says credential being brute forced, the exact alert we asked Juno to create an exception for, and alongside it, other parameters like the description of the alert and so on. Let's head back up and click on Approve. And just like that, the exception is created. Juno investigated, proposed, and acted all in one conversation. To enable remediation, simply click on Investigation Settings in Juno's home, Connectors, and make sure you have upticks configuration enabled. Finally, Juno now has the ability to search, reference, and compare every past investigation. Hey Juno, can you list out my last couple of EC2 related investigations? Juno pulls up the 2 most recent ones instantly. an EC2 security posture assessment, and a critical vulnerabilities review on internet-facing instances. Let's ask a follow-up. Can you rerun Investigation 1 and see if anything has changed? While that runs, a capable analyst doesn't start from zero every time, and neither does Juno. You can ask it what it's already looked into, your Lambda posture, your EC2 exposure, whatever you were working on last week, and it brings back the full history. What was in scope, what it found, what it recommended. You can even say, use the same report format as last time, and it will. It's the same thread carried forward. And here's what came back. Juno reruns the full assessment across all 3 AWS tenants, persistently high-risk posture. 48 out of 58 EC2 instances still have public IPs. 500 critical CVEs across 31 hosts. Open security groups still exposing SSH and MySQL to the internet. Nothing has changed since the last run. That's recall. Same context, picked back up, with a direct comparison to where things stood before. Broader access through connectors, reasoning that's calibrated to your business, investigations that go as deep as the question demands, memory that carries forward over time, and the beginning of Juno actually acting on what it finds. That's the new and upgraded Juno. See you on the next one.